And the Jamaican students studying in Ukraine are describing the horror of trying to escape a country under siege in the midst of war. In a recorded interview with our news center a short while ago, the students also explained why they were initially hesitant to leave and also cleared up what they described as misunderstandings. Giovanni Dennis has our report.
3 of the 24 Jamaican students now in Poland after fleeing the besieged Ukraine. Joel Tolo, Joel Thomas, and Sabrina Lewis finally agreed to speak with us after our repeated requests. They described the chaos, mayhem, and madness trying to escape the Russian onslaught that began before dawn last week.
4 a.m. I woke up to hearing just this noise sounding like a symphony. That's how the bombs just dropped it, like a musical. So it was just boom, boom, boom. So at first, I got up and I was so scared. I started shaking. And then a few seconds after that, an airplane flew low over my roof. So the entire building started shaking. And in my mind, all I could say was that this is it. This is the end.
In Ukraine, where we were in Kharkiv, everything happened out of nowhere. I was asleep around 2, about to go to sleep around 2, 3 a.m. and I heard noises such as shaking. The room was shaking that I was in, and the school dorm, everyone was literally running out. People were scared, some ladies were crying. And just from that thought alone, I knew that in that moment I couldn't really do anything, because just the sound of bombs dropping literally around you in that moment, you can't even run because it's happening out of nowhere.
It was very risky because at one point we were wondering, why, if we go on that train, suppose something really happens, suppose something lick the train, because we're not going to have nowhere to run to. We're going to be in the middle of nowhere. How are we going to find our way? How are we going to communicate with our parents, you know? So eventually we decided it's either. We don't know if we stay in Ukraine, if we stay in the bunker, if it will get worse. How will we survive if we don't even have food? Like, how long will it take for us? It could happen for weeks and we wouldn't even have enough food to last. So we decided to go above ground, get the train, and then we finally got to moving.
While traveling, they were stopped by armed forces and had to walk the rest of the journey to the border.
We walked, let's say, let me put it in kilometers for you, around up to 44 kilometers, you know? And to be honest with you, it was more than 9, 10 hours of walking. And God was so good that along the way, there were civilians, Ukrainian citizens that gave us a ride, you know, to make the distance shorter.
I didn't think I would make it. I called my dad. I was just like, Daddy, I'm telling you from now, I cannot make it that far because my legs, I couldn't feel them. I was so cold, and Victoria was on my back. I'm dragging a suitcase, dragging my handbag. It was so heavy. I was exhausted. I didn't eat. I honestly thought that I wouldn't make it.
They also spoke about the racism they've observed.
A close friend of mine, he experienced it. While getting on the train, a Ukrainian actually put a gun to his head and told him that he needs to get off the train. So he couldn't get to the particular, to Lviv. So because of that, his journey got delayed and he had to come back to the train station another day in order to get on a train to Lviv.
In the end, the group of 24 made it to Poland, including Sabrina's cat, Victoria.
This cat has been my cat for nearly 5 years. I look at her as my baby, right? She's my child, and me, not gonna leave my pitney.
Okay.
Here she is,
Victoria
sleeping.
getting her moment in prime time.
The full interview will be aired on all angles on Wednesday. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.